Left-wingers in Austin used President's Day to protest against government transparency and border security. This is Tuesday, February 18th, 2025.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State, the Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Well, thanks for clicking play on today's Texas Minute. Our goal every day is to help you be more informed about what's happening in the Lone Star State so that you can be more effectively engaged as a citizen. Let's jump into the news. Governor Greg Abbott is demanding an investigation into Blair High School by the Texas Education Agency after a parent there claimed her daughter was socially transitioned without the family's knowledge or approval. At the start of the girl's freshman year, the student's mother recalled that her daughter came home with a worksheet explicitly asking for her pronouns. Later, despite the information provided on that worksheet, teachers allegedly began addressing the girl by a different name and incorrect pronouns. The mother wants answers, and now so does the governor. In recent days, 2 female teachers have been sentenced to probation after admitting to sex crimes involving students, yet neither woman will be required to register as a sex offender. Former Forzen Independent School District coach Kendall J. Phillips pled guilty to improper relationship between educator and student, which is a second-degree felony. Phillips had sexual relations with a 15-year-old female student and exchanged nude photos with the girl. The female teacher was sentenced to 7 years in prison, but the sentence was suspended. Instead, Phillips will serve 10 years of supervised probation, which includes 300 hours of community service. In the case of former Rockdale ISD teacher Shawnee Nicole Despin, she also pled guilty to a similar charge. Despin had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old male student with whom she had a baby. The teacher's been sentenced to 10 years of probation and fined $3,000. Meanwhile, the former head football coach and athletic director in Perryton ISD has been sentenced to 30 years in federal prison after admitting to sexually abusing a 15-year-old female student. Cole Underwood exchanged nude photos with the girl via Snapchat and used the school's communication app to arrange meetings. At the United Church of Christ Cathedral of Hope in Dallas on Sunday, a service was held dedicated to celebrating drag performers and transgender individuals. One performer speaking at a church-sponsored brunch afterward called on the congregation to, quote, sacrifice people who voted for Donald Trump. This was allegedly a comedy routine, but there wasn't much else funny about the blasphemy. The service was attended by an undercover video team from the Texas Family Project. You can find the disturbing video on the Texas Family Project social media accounts. Sarah Gonzalez will be covering this in more detail on her Texas Scorecard show, Come and Take It, later this week. The Texas Minute will be right back.
The Luke Macias Show is your access to what happens behind closed doors in Texas politics. Listen weekly to me, your host, Luke Macias, as I break down what is actually happening in conservative politics in the Lone Star State, a state that we all love and cherish. Listen weekly wherever you listen to podcasts. This show is a product of Texas Scorecard.
Left-wing protesters rallied at the Texas Capitol on Monday against strong borders, federal spending transparency, and the Trump administration. In keeping with their philosophy of intersectionality, protesters' children were also waving LGBTQ+ pride flags, marching under American flags that were flipped upside down and Mexican flags that were being flown correctly. The protesters yelled various slogans attacking Elon Musk, Greg Abbott, and, of course,
ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey. Ho,
ho. Keeping up with the left-wingers' list of grievances can be exhausting. You can find the details of all the stories mentioned today and keep up with the latest news at TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was produced by Nick Shepard and based on the original reporting of Michael Williams, Aaron Anderson, Valerie Munoz, and Wilbia Genie. If you enjoy the Texas Minute, please give us a rating. This is the easiest way to help us help others find the show. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the first news of the day for the Lone Star State. This has been the Texas Minute with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.